Maharashtra's task force has warned that the third wave of COVID could hit the state as early as 2 to 4 weeks. Remember, Maharashtra has the highest number of COVID cases. One of the reasons now being given is the crowding that Mumbai has already seen with the unlocking in the last few days. The task force says the total number of cases in Mumbai alone can reach up to 8 lakhs and 10% could be children. They warned Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray that the Delta variant of the coronavirus could stoke this third wave. Our next report tells you more.
Crowded markets, packed restaurants, busy roadside eatery joints. India's financial capital has not unlocked fully, but it seems to have put the painful memories of the second wave of COVID behind. Mumbaikars have let down their guard. Experts warn this reckless behavior is an invitation to the third wave.
Coronavirus का नया जीनोम, नया म्यूटेशन डेल्टा 2 वायरस इंडिया में आ चुका है. इस वजह से जो संभावना थर्ड वेव की जताई जा रही है वो भयंकर हो सकती है और इसके लिए आम जनता को एप्रोप्रिएट कोविड बिहेवियर का इस्तेमाल करना बहुत जरूरी है.
In Maharashtra, the COVID task force has warned the state government that there could be a third wave in 2 to 4 weeks if we are not careful. The task force, in a presentation to CM Uddhav Thackeray, said in the third wave, the number of active patients could reach up to 8 lakh and 10% out of them could be children. Chief Minister Thackeray has put the health agencies on alert. The administration has been told to be ready with necessary facilities in the event of a new wave.
अगर लोगों ने अब समझना चाहिए कि सामने ये परिस्थितियां हैं, काम हो तभी निकले, या तो वैक्सीनेशन का शॉट जब तक का पूरा नहीं होता है तब तक निकलना नहीं चाहिए. इसमें फिर एक बार जो है सरकार को लोगों को साथ देना होगा.
The threat is not limited to Mumbai. More cities across the country have reopened. Similar scenes are playing out in Delhi, for instance. The Delhi government too is preparing for a possible new wave.
तीसरी वेव आने के चांसेस काफी रियल हैं. जब तीसरी वेव आएगी तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि हम बीच में हमने कुछ नहीं किया. आपकी सरकार इस वक्त युद्ध स्तर के ऊपर काम कर रही है.
This is the state of the marketplace even when there isn't 100% unlock. Imagine the state when there are no restrictions at all. As the COVID cases are coming down, citizens are demanding more relaxations. Industries are demanding more space to function. But yes, as the cases are coming down and the citizens take to the streets, they are forgetting that the danger is far from over.
With Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
So how soon is a third wave likely? Is the COVID alert in Maharashtra being alarmist or is it a wake-up call? Have we learnt our lessons from the second wave at all in places like Mumbai? I'm joined by Dr. Rahul Pandit, member of the Maharashtra COVID Task Force and the National Task Force. Dr. Lancelot Pinto is one of Mumbai's top doctors. He joins me. Appreciate both of you joining us. I want to come to you, Dr. Pandit. I believe that you all have told the Chief Minister that if the crowding in Mumbai continues, Mumbai could see a third wave in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Are you simply scaring people and telling them to stay at home? Or is this based on hard evidence that you have? I know the cases in Mumbai have slightly gone up in the last 24 hours, but to suggest that a third wave is upon us in 2 weeks, are you being alarmist or is this a wake-up call?
Good evening, Rajdeep.
Good evening.
I don't think we are alarmist, neither are we actually trying to scare people. So let me put this in the right perspective. The discussion was about preparation for the third wave. That is what the whole meeting was about. And what was discussed is that the mathematical models predict somewhere between 100 to 120 days as a time gap between the two waves. But the models are models. We need to look at real life scenarios. And if you look at real life scenarios, some of the countries like US have had more than 12 weeks, up to 14, 15 weeks gap between the two waves. But countries like UK, for example, now has had gaps which are less than 8 weeks. So that is how the discussion went through, that we need to be prepared for any gap which may be even shortened because we have a Delta variant, which was just like a UK variant, very, very infectious one. We may have something which may spread a little rapidly than what we would understand. At no point did we say that it will be in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It's very difficult to guess. I mean, we have to go by some mathematical models and then look around the world and see what the other waves have been like. And that's how the comparison was made. And the whole preparation was that let us be prepared in such a way that even if it comes a little bit early than what normally one would anticipate from the modeling studies, we should be still completely prepared to face it and not be caught off guard. That was the whole context in this was discussed, and nothing beyond that, honestly.
It's not about the images that we are seeing on our screen that I just showed a short while ago of markets already crowded in Mumbai, restaurants already getting crowded at lunchtime. The fact is people are lowering their guard. So is that a warning in a way to the lowering of guard? That's what you're saying.
So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that there was no particular time frame which was sort of said that this is going to be the time frame at which the third wave is expected. But certainly we discussed that we need to keep on enforcing the COVID appropriate behavior, which is what we have always talked about since last 1.5 years, that we need to be very, very good in enforcing this. I am not saying that the economy should not open up, but people, when they step out of their house, should be wearing a double mask. If they can avoid going out, they should be doing that. The simple principles of epidemiology need to be followed up. That's all it is about.
Right. You know, Dr. Pinto, that's easier said than done. In a city like Mumbai, where people live cheek by jowl, neighborhoods are very crowded and cramped, easy to tell people, please stay at home. People are dying to get out. The moment you unlocked even a little, people are out there. And I was just being told by one doctor that the trajectory of each of the waves has been, it comes to Mumbai because people from all across the world come into Mumbai and then spreads to other parts of the country. So there is a concern that if Mumbai, the faster Mumbai opens up, the more the crowding will take place, and that could, as Dr. Pandit says, lead to a lowering of the guard. How is it possible to control crowds?
Good evening, Rajdeep. I think the points that Dr. Pandit made were absolutely valid, and what you're saying is absolutely true as well. Mumbai tends to be a hub, and there are spokes that go out of Mumbai. And if the numbers in Mumbai rise, those spokes spread out and eventually lead to surges across the state, across the country. It isn't easy to tell people to stay indoors and to tell people to stay locked up when the restrictions have been eased. But I think if we learn from the basic principles that indoors is always worse than outdoors, so indoor crowding is definitely worse than outdoor crowding. If we can take care of that to a certain extent, if we can improve ventilation systems in indoor areas, especially when there are centrally air-conditioned spaces, I think that's a lesson to be learned from the past waves. When it comes to outdoor spaces, if we could somehow regulate the quantum of people, so even if there is crowding, it doesn't have to be all at the same time. So I think opening up markets throughout the day might be a better idea so that the crowd spread over the entire day rather than have focal times at which everybody accumulates outdoors. But that being said, we do know that the outdoor risk of transmission tends to be slightly lower as long as you are well masked up. So I think it's important to prepare for the next wave because we possibly got complacent after the first wave, and we can't afford to be complacent this time around. And I think if we keep these basic principles in mind, of course, we cannot have a total lockdown. We cannot suffer the economic consequences of a complete lockdown. But I think if we use scientific principles to limit it in the best way possible, I think that's a good way forward.
Because that's the fear, Dr. Pandit, at the end of the day. Mumbai is the commercial capital of the country. People want to go out to do business. Now, the moment the government has slightly unlocked, people are out there. And is the belief that is the view of the Maharashtra COVID task force that you're going to have to extend the lockdown, or at least this partial lockdown that you have in Mumbai, night curfews being put in place, all of this will have to continue for another 4 to 6 weeks at least, even though the numbers have come down?
No sort of discussion on that aspect actually happened at all. And at the moment, if you ask me, it would be simple principles that we would look at, that if there is a rise in the case, if the test positivity rate rises despite the test being done at around 25,000-26,000 per day, then of course those restrictions will have to be relooked. But if the test positivity rate is coming down, the numbers are not bad today. I believe it's around 666 today. If they keep on coming down every day by whatever, even a small margin, then I think that's encouraging. The
No,
economy
it's
has-
encouraging. No, I just want to understand. It's encouraging, but are you willing to take that risk now and tell the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, let's fully open up Mumbai?
No, absolutely not. I think the unlocking has to be calibrated and has to be slow. So I think whatever policy the government has adopted right now, the level 1 to level 5, they need to follow that policy to the T, and I think that's how the calibrated lockdown should ease up.
Okay, Dr. Pinto, is there an ideal time as such, in your view, when a city can unlock, like Mumbai?
I think the effective reproductive number of the RT, which people have been tracking throughout the pandemic, has been a very useful metric. Most of the districts in Maharashtra seem to be below 1 right now. So if it's below 1, it's unlikely that things are going to increase exponentially. I think that's a useful metric to follow closely. As long as that metric is within place, I think we can afford the current set of unlocking that's in place. But the moment it starts creeping up, I think we'll have to clamp down. And I think it's going to be a dynamic process. I don't think there's a complete unlock or there's a complete lockdown. I think we will have to keep modifying it based on what we see, based on the number of cases, based on the geographical location of these cases, and try to do our best to balance both the economics as well as the spread.
I get a sense that these are very difficult choices that you're going to have in the weeks and months ahead. But let's hope for the best. And I'm reassured to say that you haven't told the Maharashtra government at any stage that we're going to have a third wave in the next 2 to 4 weeks. But you are making it very clear we cannot still lower our guard in cities like Mumbai. Dr. Pinto, Dr. Pandit, thank you very much for joining me here on the news today. Now,